All right, good morning. Happy first day of our semester, first of our classes. Welcome to Twitch. I see a lot of you putting your names in the chat box, which is fantastic. Good morning. Can you all hear me and see me okay? Somebody let me know in the chat if you can hear and see me just fine before I keep going. I was gonna say happy back to school-oween. I've got my Halloween pumpkin cup. I'm ready for fall. Perfect. Everyone can hear me. That's fantastic. Thank you for letting me know all of the yeses. I'll take it. Good morning. My name is Elisa Setmire. I am your instructor for this Introduction to Psychology class we have for this fall. Thank you. I am a huge fan of Halloween, which I'm sure I will mention more than one time. So I have my Halloween coffee cup ready to go. I will admit to you that we did decorate our house for Halloween on August 1st. So we are more than ready for Halloween in our household. So I might be the only one, but that's okay. I'm all right with it. So anyway, good morning and welcome. So this is for Intro Psych. And if you're just joining me, this is Twitch. I'm not sure how many of you have used it before, but I think it's a fun platform for this purpose, and definitely something that's very current and relevant, and a lot of people use it for video games. Sadly, we won't be playing video games, but I do think it's a nice way for you to interact with me live. Make sure at some point today that you put your first and last name in the chat. That way I can keep track of who has joined me today. And our plan for today, what we'll do is I'm going to go through Canvas a little bit and just kind of highlight some things on our course webpage. I'll show you the ebook site. We'll talk a little bit about the course requirements and everything that's expected of you. If at any point you have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. That is your best way to communicate with me as we go through. And I am monitoring it on my phone, so I will do my best to not miss any of your questions. And then I will end today with giving you a Twitch extra credit question and seeing if there are any questions from all of you. So that is our plan as we go. And I have mentioned this several times on Canvas, but if you have Amazon Prime, okay, you can subscribe for free to my Twitch channel. Now, you don't have to do this, but there are a couple of reasons that it's worth doing. So what I wanted to do, somebody said, yeah, there are ads every now and then. So there will almost always be an ad at the very beginning. But if you are able to subscribe to my channel, it drastically minimizes the ads. So I think it makes for a much smoother experience. Look, Juan, you just figured it out. That's fantastic. Please don't ever pay for this. This isn't something I want you to pay for, but if you have Amazon Prime, you can take a couple of steps to go ahead and link your accounts together and subscribe for 30 days. So you'll have to do it a couple of times, but it's completely free for you. It eliminates all of the ads. And it makes one thing easier for me, and that is that I can download a list of people who are here rather than finding you and highlighting. So if you have the ability to do it, I would greatly appreciate it. If it's too tricky or you don't have Prime, that's okay. I completely understand. Just make sure you can find me on Twitch. I will be using it quite a bit. Yeah, it's always fun on the first day here where everybody's here. We get this little like hype train. Not that that means anything, but it's still kind of fun anyway. So as I mentioned, if you have a chance to do that, that's great. If you have questions about that, I can try and help you, and I'll show you where those instructions are. But let's go over to Canvas together. And again, if at any point you have questions, put them in the chat, and I will try to get to them. So this is our course webpage. There are a couple of sections of this class, so if the number is different, that's okay. Don't worry about that. But if you can make it here, you should be in a wonderful spot to make sure that you can access everything. Everything is either on this Canvas page or linked out from here. So as long as you can get to this, you should be in good shape. So if you just take a second to notice this page, there are images down here of each week. So this course is organized week by week by week, and so you can click on each one of these as we go along, and I have the dates for you here as well. And then there are a couple of things like the orientation materials, some help and campus resources, and some course documents and videos that start us off up at the top. So you can access things through the links down here or the links right here on the side. So I'm going to click on modules for a second. That's where you can find all of the information for the course. And if you just kind of follow this down, you start with the syllabus. There's some information about the textbook, which I'll talk about in a moment. Some things about the discussions, some resources, the mandatory orientation lecture, help and campus resources, and then we get into the weeks. So I just want to make sure that you kind of understand how everything is set up and formatted in here. The syllabus is definitely something that you will want to look over, and I'll highlight a couple of things from it here right now, but make sure that you do read over the rest of it on your own at some point, definitely before taking that mandatory orientation quiz. But this class is an intro to psychology, Psych 1, a great place to start with psychology. And my name, as I said, is Elisa Setmire. You can call me Elisa, you can call me Professor Setmire. A lot of people just call me Setmire. I know we're not meeting in person, so any of those things when you're emailing me is totally fine. Email is definitely the best way to get a hold of me. I have a phone number in my office, but I'm not on campus more than a couple of days a week. I'm trying to be on campus more, so if you would ever like to meet with me in person, you can email me and set something up. But for the most part, I'm checking email. I'm teaching from home today, so email is the best way to get a hold of me. There's some information here about the dean and department chair, a description and objectives. Make sure you look over all those on your own. I'm gonna keep going for the sake of time. But what I do want to talk about here is the textbook. So you do need to buy a textbook for this class, and I know textbooks are expensive, but they are a necessary evil, if you will, of college classes. The book that I'm requiring you to buy is an ebook. So you need to make sure that you get the ebook and get it right away. The book is called Psyched, and you'll notice I wrote it. Right? So I was able to take a couple of years to write a textbook, and the nice part about that was I could control the cost, and it's only $70 compared to having to pay. Most psych books are in the like $250s to $280s, so it's a very reasonably priced book, but you will use it constantly. Without the book, you can't access the exams. The book will be providing all the chapters that you're reading, so please do try and get that right away. You'll also want to have the Canvas app and maybe the Twitch app on your phone or tablet, and of course access to internet. Since everything is online, you're going to want to make sure that you have good internet capabilities. Some codes of conduct and policies and campus policies. I really am committed to a very inclusive learning environment. I know we're not meeting in person, but we're still interacting a lot online. So make sure that we're always being respectful and mindful of each other. I really hope that you all feel comfortable asking questions, especially here in the chat, and participating. I think that only makes the class richer. But please try and be kind and respectful. Yes, that's the only book that you need for the summers, or for the semester, sorry. I'm thinking of summer, right? Anyone else? But yes, it's the only book that you need, and you will use it constantly. So just that book, but make sure it is the ebook. And I have that linked on our Canvas page, which I'll show you in a little bit. I'm pretty strict about late work. So this class is very flexible in the sense that it is organized around weeks. So every Monday morning, a new week will open up, and then it ends on Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. So you have the entire course of the week to complete the materials. You can do them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all in one day, spread them out. It's completely up to you. But once the deadline for the week has passed, it is too late to submit the materials. And I'm very strict about this just because I have to be fair and consistent. If something comes up, this is a weird year. It's been a weird 2 years almost at this point. If you have an emergency or something happens, you must contact me before the weekly deadline for there to be any consideration of an extension. Right? So if something happens, email me. I will work with you to the best of my ability. But if you contact me Monday morning after the deadline, I will tell you I'm sorry. It's too late. So I'm very considerate and understanding as long as it is before the deadline. So just something to keep in mind as we move through the semester. Please don't copy or cheat. There's some stuff about sexual misconduct and the smoking policy at Moore Park I put in there for you to read. As far as your grade goes, there are 4 components of your grade. And the first one is due this week, and that is the mandatory orientation materials. So you need to read through the lecture and take a quiz. I'll show you those, and we'll talk about them a little bit. If you don't take that quiz by this Sunday night, you're at risk for being dropped. So please make sure that you are getting that done as soon as possible. You will be doing a discussion every week. Those are going to add up. There were 15 points. So every single week, 15 points doing a little discussion mini paper. There'll be a closing assignment at the end of the semester having you reflect back on what you've learned. And then there will be 4 exams that you'll take on the ebook site. And we'll talk a lot about those when we get closer. I'll give you a study guide, and I'll make sure that you're feeling as good as possible about the exams as we get closer. Here is the distribution for your grades. Everything's just based on points. If you have a memo with access, make sure you get that to me as soon as you can, and I will get you all set up with your accommodations. There's some information about tech support and college information for the student service syllabus and important add and drop dates. And then the last thing on here is our schedule. And we will stick to this. We will go through it weekly. And you can see each week the kind of main format of this class is you'll read a chapter and do a discussion. Read a chapter, do a discussion. And then every 4 weeks there'll be an exam on those 4 chapters. So that's kind of the general format of the class. I know that things aren't quite the same right now. Everything is online. There's a few classes being taught at the college. We're getting closer, but we'll make the best of it. I've been teaching online for 12 years at this point, and I'm very well organized, and I love to teach online. So hopefully it will be a pretty smooth experience, and I will do my best to make it interactive and exciting as much as possible when we're not seeing each other in person. So that is the syllabus. It's right here at the top. Again, please make sure that you get the textbook. So I have some information here about the book. Again, it's called Psyched, and it's 3rd edition. Make sure that you're getting the ebook, and you really have to get the book in order to be able to do the orientation quiz, the exams, and so on. So I have links everywhere for you to purchase it, but just make sure you get this as soon as possible so that you can get started on the materials. The next thing to do after you've gone through the syllabus and all of those things is to look at the mandatory orientation lecture. And what I did is I just kind of went through and gave you a little more information about the class, about myself, where to get help, trying to set you up for success. I want you all to do well. I hope you all do really well in this class, and that is really my genuine hope. So when you're reading through this, these are the 5 things that you'll need to do. You'll need to read through the lecture, read through the syllabus, complete the mandatory orientation quiz, which is on the ebook site, and we'll get there in a little bit. Find me on YouTube and Twitch. I use a lot of YouTube and Twitch for this class. Try very hard to make it interactive as much as possible. So find me on both of those so that when I post videos, you can access them very easily. As I mentioned earlier, if you are able to, please do find me on Twitch and use that free subscription. There are instructions right here, step by step, on how to do that. And I found a great little video on YouTube, which will show you as well. It's a little tricky, but once you've done it, it's very easy to renew every month. And again, please don't ever pay for that. It should be something that is free for you. The next page here, the course, as I mentioned, the way it's organized is every week you'll be reading a chapter in the textbook. You'll read the lectures that I have for you here on Canvas and watch the lecture video that I have made for you. I used to lecture live on Twitch, but it didn't have any subtitles or captions, and a lot of people do like or need those. So the lectures, I went ahead and recorded them. I'm recording them as we go along, and then this will be more like reminders and feedback and tips and things for the week. You'll do a weekly discussion, and then you'll take 4 exams, one every 4 weeks. So again, it's a very consistent format of weekly. You'll read a chapter, read the lecture and watch the lecture video, do a discussion, and then every 4 weeks, take an exam. At the end of the semester, there'll be a short closing assignment. And again, when we get closer to those assignments, I promise to go over them so that you're feeling good about them. You can also listen to this, by the way, if you're wanting to have audio instead of reading it. I did record each one of these pages for you. A little bit about myself. As I said, my name is Elisa Setmire. I've been at Moorpark College for 12 years now. I'm tenured and full-time, and I love it there. I feel very lucky. I am a huge football fan. Anyone else a football fan? If you are, put it in the chat. Who's your team or player or whoever? I've been a huge Tom Brady fan for 20 years. That guy he just won't go away, and I'm fine with it. So I was a big Pats fan. I went to Gillette Stadium, and now I'm a big Bucks fan because he went to the Buccaneers and then won a Super Bowl. Good times. So I'm a huge football fan. I play a lot of fantasy football, and I'm very excited for football season to start. So maybe you're lucky you're not with me in person, because I would talk about that a lot. Oh, the Cowboys, the Browns. Perfect, right? Hopefully Dak isn't hurt, and he'll have a much better year. I love the holidays. As I said, I'm a huge fan of Halloween. We've already decorated, so definitely a big fan of that. I play the guitar. I love to camp. I love to eat. I'm obsessed with food. I'll talk about it too much. Fantasy draft on Sunday. Ooh, very, very exciting. Yeah, fantasy football is a lot of fun. The last thing I have on here, I'm a huge fan of escape rooms. I don't know if any of you have done an escape room before. I have done 89 different escape rooms. I'm obsessed. I love them. It's such a wonderfully fun application of psychology, problem solving, and brainstorming. I think they are so much fun. And so I don't know if anyone in here is a fan. I can't see your faces or if you're nodding, but 89 different ones in the area. Yep. And we passed almost all of them. A couple of them we had to go back and do a second time. But yes, I am officially obsessed. They're a lot of fun, and I would highly recommend them if you have never done them before. Insane, right? That is a lot. It's a lot. Don't add up the amount of money that means I've spent on escape rooms over time. There is a page here on computer help. One is better than none, though, Moneyball, right? One is fun. Hopefully it was a fun room. I have some computer requirements and tips for you right here. If you are struggling with your internet settings, I have a few things that might be helpful, like disabling your pop-up blocker, making sure that your internet settings are done. And then I have a help page here at the end. If you need help, there are lots of options for you. If you have a hard time with ordering your ebook or any problems with your purchasing or ordering, here's the email and phone number for the publisher of the book. If you're having a hard time with anything on the ebook page, like you can't access something or something isn't working with your account, here is the support email for them. Canvas support if you're having problems with Canvas. And of course, if you're struggling, you can always email me. I'm here. I'm a real person. I check my email all the time. Please reach out to me if you're struggling. I would be happy to help you as much as I can. And I think that would be always an option for you as well. I'm a little on the not so good side of problem solving. Probably a good thing I'm not planning on being an engineer. Oh no, right? But you'd be surprised, right? I don't know. I find that I'm not great at problem solving either, but I'm good at escape rooms. So maybe there's a different skill set there. So make sure you read through all of this. I kind of went through it quickly, but once you have done the orientation and the syllabus, you can take the quiz. And I'll get there in just a moment, but if you still need more, I made a video overview of the class. And then the quiz is on the ebook site, so you'll have to buy that book before you can go ahead and take that. Just a few more things, and then we'll head over there so you can see that. I have a bunch of help and campus resources. If you have questions, I compiled a list of frequently asked questions right here. Here's more about subscribing and finding me on Twitch and YouTube. How to set your Canvas notifications. If you're not getting my announcements or emails, make sure that you click on this and follow the instructions to set up your notifications so that you get everything that I send out to you. Someone asked, is there a quiz for chapter 1? No, just an exam for the first 4 chapters in week number 4. So this little mandatory quiz that you have is only on the syllabus and the orientation lecture, and it's just my way of making sure that you've read both and are getting going on the class. There's some stuff about technology help, finding your grades and feedback, and psychology information, services for students. So all of these are just kind of helpful resources in case you need them. You're welcome. Of course, you're welcome. And then after that, we just start into the weeks, right? So from there, all of the weeks will pop up, and everything you need to do for each week is organized under its corresponding week. But I wanted to point out all that to you so you could see where it all is. And on the home page here, you'll notice there's a link right here to the ebook site. So once you have purchased your ebook, and I have that information here in the announcements and also in the modules that I just showed you, you'll probably want to bookmark the ebook site, right? You'll probably want to make sure that you have it saved or bookmarked in some way. And once you are there, you'll log in. And people tend to get lost right here. There's like one random page right here where you have to click on this play button, and it's a little confusing, so hopefully you navigated beyond this okay. But you'll click that play button, and then make sure that you put yourself in the right section. So there are 3 different sections of this class that I'm teaching. So make sure you look at the number and that you put yourself in the right one. If you messed up on that, you can email web support right here at the bottom of the page and ask them to switch you. But let's just pick one of these. And once you get to this page, it'll take you right to the welcome page. And you'll see here I made a video for you. I went over this whole ebook page in detail. If you're still feeling a little overwhelmed or confused, you can watch that. Again, lots of videos for you. I try very hard to make you feel like I am here with you with the videos. And at the top here, this is where you'll access the chapters in the ebook. There are some additional resources, an exam tab, and a gradebook. And so between this page and Canvas, everything that you need for the class is between those 2 pages. So if you click on chapters, these are the different chapters, and you should be reading these as we go along. So this week we are covering chapter 1. If you click on that, it will bring up the chapter. And again, I did write this just to brag just for a moment. It took me a very, very long time to do, so I'm very proud of that. You'll see that these are key terms here that are highlighted. You can go over them to get the definition. You can skip to different sections up here. But make sure that you are reading through these chapters. This is where you're going to get the bulk of your information. The lectures will add to it and kind of highlight important things. But it's important that you're reading through this material. There are charts in here with the information that could be on exams. There's little apply it things that talk about how can you use this information in your life. And then at the end, we have in pop culture references, a link to YouTube, and some application. So make sure you're reading each one of the chapters as we go through. It's up to you which order you do it in, but a lot of people like to read the chapter, then do the lectures. The other big thing on here are the exams. And this is where you'll take this mandatory orientation quiz. And so this quiz is open until Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. And you have 15 minutes to take it. It's a very brief 10-point, 10-question quiz. And so this one, again, is only on the lecture related to the mandatory orientation lecture and the syllabus. So we'll talk about the other exams, but when you take this, you get 1 attempt. You can use your notes, you can use anything at your disposal, but you will take this little quiz, and that will let me know that you're following along, you've read, and you want to stay in the class. When you're ready, you'll hit begin your attempt, and so here we'll do 1 or 2 questions together. I want you to notice that there is a clock right here, so it does keep track of your time, and it will kick you out when your time expires. So just be mindful of the time up here. Here are the list of questions, and you can skip around, right? So you can skip questions. Notice it's gray if you skipped it. It's black if you haven't answered it yet. But if I go back to question 1 here, which of the following is not true about your instructor? And it's that I hate football, right? Your instructor does not hate football. And then you will save your answer. Really important step. Make sure that you're clicking save, and you'll notice that it turns it like a gold orange color. And you want to make sure that all of your answers are saved before you finish and submit for a grade. So the exams will be in a very similar format. This is a great practice for that, where you can skip around and move through the questions. This course is not self-paced, right? You cannot move around and work ahead at your own pace. So hit false and save answer. All of you should get those 2 questions correct, right, at this point. So when you're all done, you will hit I am finished, submit for a grade, and it will ask you, are you sure? Yes. And you'll get a grade instantly. I got a shameful 2 out of 10 on my own quiz, right? I at least got the 2 I did right. But you'll get a grade instantly, and it'll show you the questions you got right and wrong. Now, I want to point out one thing really quickly, and that is that your score on here does not automatically come over to Canvas. So I have to import those scores into Canvas. And so when the weekly deadlines pass, when I'm grading everything from that week, I will bring your scores over. So don't panic if you don't see it in Canvas. You do have a grade book here on the ebook page. So as long as you see a score for your exams, that is totally fine. And then on Mondays when I do that grading, I will bring those scores over. So don't worry if you don't see it in Canvas right away. Oh, you got the self-paced question wrong, right? Sorry, it's not meant to be tricky. It's just you cannot work ahead. Everything is just week by week. There are also a couple of additional resources on here. These are things I would have used with you in class had you taken this in person, but some of them could be helpful. There's PowerPoints and flashcards. The extra credit is only for in person. We have our Twitch extra credit here, but there's a couple of things on here that might be helpful, and you're welcome to check them out. So make sure that you get your ebook as soon as possible. Register your book, sign up for the right section, get going on that mandatory orientation quiz. And again, this is where you'll take your exams when we get to week number 4. And I'm talking a lot today. Today will be a little bit longer. Most Twitch sessions will be about like a half hour or so. But this one's a little longer since we're going through everything. Are there any questions at all? I'm going to put that in the chat here. Any thoughts or questions? I'll wait just a moment because you're usually about 30 seconds or so behind me. Scarlett said nope. That's great. I love it. Hopefully everything is very clear. If at any point ever, if you're feeling confused or overwhelmed, feel free to email me. I won't know if you're struggling unless you reach out to me. So if you ever have questions, just go ahead and let me know. So if we go back to Canvas, those are some of the big things. So the Canvas, we've gone over kind of the general format of Canvas. We've looked at the syllabus and the ebook site. So once you have done all of that, thank you. And I like fan of yours. Woohoo! We can always use a fan in life, right? Once you have gone through all the mandatory orientation stuff, you've got your book, you've taken your quiz, it's time to start week number 1. So we are almost halfway through week 1 at this point. You'll click on this week 1 link right here. And again, remember that everything under week 1, these are all the requirements for this week. Canvas is kind of lousy about the to-do list. You have to check it off yourself. But these are the things that are required of you. Or you can look at the syllabus if you want a reminder, or the weekly announcement that will also tell you what's due for the week. But once you have read the chapter, I have a lecture and a video for you. And any of these things are fair game for exams. So it could be the book, it could be the lecture, or it could be the video. The lecture is typed out. So every time there's a 5-page format. You'll have a summary at the beginning, a page that is beyond the book. So sometimes there'll be videos on here that I have made, like this one is a lecture video that I made. There is a link to a video here, The Many Faces of Psychology. Excuse me. Right, a link to this video that I have here. On the 3rd page, it's always going to be in pop culture, so a bunch of examples of things in popular culture that are connected to this topic. Thank you for the bless you. The next page will always be the key terms and review. So I'll give you a study guide for every exam, but these are the terms from chapter 1 that will be on the test. So if you wanted to kind of study and prepare as we go along, here's where you could find the terms that you need to know from chapter 1. And then the last page will always be application. Okay, now that I've read through this, what can I do with it? How could I apply it to my life in some way? So anything that's in here, click on the links, watch the videos. You can listen to me reading it to you, or you can read it yourself. But make sure that you are going through all this information. It's meant to help you, and it's also meant to kind of try and make it interesting and give you examples and clips. You'll also want to watch the lecture video. So what I've done every week is I've gone through and I've lectured about the topic for the week. And so this one is on YouTube. Sometimes they're just Zoom links, depending on if there was like copyrighted content in there. This one was all my own content, so I was able to do it on YouTube. So when you click on this, once you get through the ads, it's me lecturing to the slides. So the slides for chapter 1, what I will do is have the slide up and then usually a little video of me. I tried to make sure these were all captioned, though the captions aren't perfect, so you can laugh when they're wrong. But the advantage to this is you can pause it, you can watch it as many times as you would like. But make sure you are watching the lecture videos, as they will also go into some of the details about things and give you that information. Well, I'm glad you like the audio read over. You're welcome. It took a lot of time to do, but it's nice to be able to listen to it. And whenever possible, I try and post some stuff on YouTube because I know that you can watch that on your phone or anywhere. It's so much more convenient. So read the chapter, read the lecture, watch the videos, and then every week you'll do a discussion. So for this week, discussion number 1 has to do with the history and scope of psychology. Right, and so what I've done for every single discussion is I've made a video, and some of them are a little bit older. My hair is so short. I've been growing it out from COVID. But what I've done at every single one of these is I've made a video giving you a little more information. I talk about the prompt a little more, give you examples and tips. So you definitely want to watch these if you can find the time. And then I have a couple of questions for you, and these are all related to chapter 1, so you want to make sure you've done your reading and you're prepared and ready to go. And you can see a few people have already started doing this, or just one here at the moment. But when you're ready to reply to my prompts, you'll hit reply right here at the bottom. And it'll bring up a box for you to type in your response. Now, I'd really recommend that you write this somewhere else and copy and paste it and save it. But it's up to you. You can just put it right in the box and then hit post reply. You also need to reply to one of your peers. So let's say, eventually there will be more, but at the moment we just have Jane's response here. But you can click on reply and then you would write something in response to what she posted. So every week you are in charge of doing a discussion, and make sure that you're not only responding to my prompts with the reply right here, right, and then post, and you're also replying to one of your peers. It's only worth 2 points, but those 2 points will start to add up. So that's the general format every week. Again, reading through the chapter on the ebook page, watching the lecture video, reading through the lecture and watching any of the videos and links in there, and then the discussion. And every single week I will also give you a Twitch extra credit question when you're here with me on these live streams. And those questions will be something from the lecture, so you will often have to complete these materials in order to answer them. And they will be worth 2 points. 2 points of extra credit. So if you did one every single week, you could earn 34 points of extra credit in this class. And that's huge. That's a missed discussion or two. Those are some points on an exam that maybe you didn't do as well as you would have liked on. So please take advantage of those points. Join me here live whenever you can. If you can't do this live, or if you're watching this later, that's totally fine. I know that our schedules are all over the place. I have 3 little girls that are up at school, and I'm sure at some point they will be quarantined or something will happen, and I will have to move our schedule around. So just do the best that you can. What I will do when we're done today is I will post a link right here underneath this extra credit link for the recording of this session. So I will put it onto YouTube, and you'll be able to watch that at any time later in the week if you missed this or if you wanted to watch it again. So it takes a couple of hours to download, but I will put it right here underneath this extra credit as soon as it is available. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Those are all the really big things I wanted to highlight for you. A couple of thoughts, and then I'll give you the extra credit. Our Twitch live streams will be every Wednesday morning at 8:30. And again, just do your best to make them. If you can't make them, that's okay. sometimes we can't. You might sleep in, or you have work or another class. So just do the best you can, and you can always watch it later if you aren't able to make it live. So it said, I really like how you explain things some teachers can't. Oh, well, thank you. I'll take the compliment. Thank you so much. Again, I'm not intimidated by teaching online. So as sad as it is to not see your faces, this is okay. I've gotten used to it over the last year and a half. Just like I'm sure a lot of you have gotten used to it too, right? It's been such a strange year, and I keep hoping we're coming out of it, but we'll see what happens. So our next Twitch live stream, I'm putting this in the chat, and I've learned about myself that I cannot talk and type. Our next Twitch live stream will be on Wednesday at 8:30. Okay, and again, usually they'll be about like 30 to 45 minutes, depending on questions and if we have an exam that week. Exam weeks, I will go into how to take the exam and some tips a little more. So it might take a little bit longer those weeks, but most weeks about 30 to 40 minutes or so. So our next one will be next Wednesday at 8:30. And then the last thing to do is to give you that Twitch extra credit question. So I have it written out here. I'm going to copy and paste it into the chat. So our extra credit question for this week is to name and describe one of the subfields of psychology. Now, there's a whole video about this in the lecture, or it's covered in the book, so you can get it from either. But you will name and describe one of the many subfields in psychology. And when you're ready to do that, you'll go back to Canvas, and under week number 1 right here, you'll click on the Twitch extra credit number 1 link. And that'll bring up the assignment instructions. It says it's worth 0 points because it's extra credit, but you'll get 2 points for doing this if you answer correctly. And when you're ready, you'll hit Start Assignment up here at the top. And it brings up a text box, and you can just type your response right here. And then when you're ready, you hit Submit, and you get a little like confetti burst, which is so fun. There it is. Right? It's the little things in life that makes me so excited. I don't know why. The little confetti burst. But you can, if you mess up or you need to do it again, you can hit New Attempt. If you answer these early in the week, oftentimes I grade them throughout the week. And if you get it wrong, I will let you know and you can try again. But this is due by Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. Remember that everything is due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. at night. So all of week 1 materials you can do anytime this week. Just make sure they're done by Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. And again, I think that's pretty much. You like the confetti too? They put little rocket ships too. Ooh, I love it, right? I like the confetti. It's fun. It makes like a celebration, like very nicely done. So again, make sure that you take a little time this week, go through the website, make sure you're familiar with it, get your ebook right away if you haven't already, get that registered, take the quiz and do the mandatory orientation lecture, and then get going on week number 1. And later today, you'll see the recording from this session if you want to watch it later. And again, if you can, please do take a few minutes after we're done here to go find me on Twitch and subscribe if that's free for you. And if not, and make sure you at least find me on there so you can access those videos later. And that does save me a couple of steps. So please and thank you for your help with that. And I think are there any other questions? Okay, someone said, when replying to the discussion questions, how detailed do we need to be? That's a great question. Really only like a sentence or two. Your responses to a peer are brief. What I really want to see is when you answer my questions, make sure that you're answering them very completely and fully. Think about it like a mini paper. When you're responding to a peer, it might be a couple of sentences like, hey, I really love the example that you gave for nature versus nurture, and maybe like one more thing, right? So you're just doing a couple of sentences as a way to show that you read it and maybe liked something or agreed or had a different thought, whatever that might be. And I did give you some examples up here if you want to see the discussion rubric and sample posting. So what I did here is kind of give you some tips on how you can do well on the discussions. So tips, how to earn your full points. And then I gave you a sample. So this is our second discussion that you'll see next week. And you can see it's like 4 paragraphs long. It is fairly lengthy, right? It's almost a page. And then here's the peer response. It's just a couple of sentences. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. I will be grading everything on Mondays. So the deadline is Sunday night, and then traditionally Monday I will spend the day grading everything, and you'll have your grades by Monday night. I'll send out an email with some general feedback, and hopefully as we go along you will get very used to what I'm looking for. The exams will get comfortable and familiar. And again, I really hope you all do great. You're going to need to read, you're going to need to study for exams, but if you do those things, you should be in great shape. I will never trick you, and I want you all to do well. That would make me so happy if you all did wonderfully. So I think that's it. Anything else? Any other questions or comments or anything for me before we kind of officially call it? I'll hang out for a little while. If you have any questions, this would be a great chance to ask me in the chat. You can always ask me here. And again, I'm on campus a couple of days. Email me if you're struggling. Email me if you would like to meet. I'm here for you if you need me. Thank you as well. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. Good luck with your other classes. Enjoy this beautiful weather. It's like cloudy and cool today. I absolutely love it. I'm not a fan of the heat, and this is nice. I'll take it. And we didn't have any cats join us today, but I do have 4 cats, and I promise you at some point my chunky cat Rolly will come sit like right here. So we'll just look forward to that when it comes. But thank you all. I love that all the comments and the messages in the chat. That's fantastic. Yeah, the humidity is never fun. I'm glad this was helpful. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. And I know that we're not meeting in person, but I get really excited to see all of your names on here. So thank you for being here. Let's see, for the ebook, do we put our VCCD account, or you can put any email, I believe, any email that you would like the information sent to. So that's completely up to you. You want to see a chonky cat, right? He's sitting over there. I can see him. Rolly. We'll see. If he comes over, I'll let him come up. Right? I definitely am like, there's Binks, there's Rolly. I also have Squash and Whiskey. So at some point, they just need to come close enough, right? Come here. Not a chunky cat, but this is Binks, right? So here's Binks. He's named after Thackeray Binks from Hocus Pocus. So, hey, look, we got 1 cat into our stream. We call this the fabulous Madam Binks, right? Right? He's like, let me go. I'm out of here. He's a little bit of a scratcher. So, but yes, at some point this semester, I'm sure they will all make an appearance, right? That's one of the best parts about teaching from home, is that I can sit here with my coffee and my cats. You have a gray chunky cat, so I understand. 25 pounds. Oh my gosh, my gray cat is our chunky cat too. He's a big boy. You were hearing the bell, right? Yes, they could be our class mascots, right? All of the cats. I wish I could see your cats too, right? We could have a cat sharing day. That would be amazing fun. Oh. Full of love, right? Yes, full of food and love. Me too, to be fair. Oh. All right. A big rabbit who acts like a cat. That's fun too, right? We have 3 rats, 4 cats, and 2 dogs. So, and 3 children. There's a lot of kids and pets in my house. So, very full house here. All right. I'm going to hang out for a few minutes, but I'm going to minimize my video. But if you have any other questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Yes, it's like one big party. A lot of fur, though. We have to vacuum quite often. But yes, it is a party constantly. Not always a fun one, but still. So have a wonderful week, everyone. I'm going to minimize this, but I'll hang out for a few more minutes. If you have any questions, again, if you don't have the little cake or crown next to your name, then you aren't subscribed. So please try to do that if possible. No pressure. And I will see you all next Wednesday morning. Unless you have any questions, of course, go ahead and put those in the chat. Of course. Thank you for being here. Thank you. You too. Have a wonderful week. Oh no, I'm not able to do anything for you. Is it Maggie? Okay. So what you'll want to do on our Canvas page. So let's go back there really quickly, and this is for you right here. If you go back to Canvas and you go to the mandatory orientation lecture, what you're going to want to do on that last page, I gave you the phone number for Kendall Hunt. And so if you're having problems with your order, what you'll want to do is call this number or email them right here. So I don't have any power over any of that. So what you'll want to do is either email them and let them know what happened, or you could give them a call and let them know what happened and see if they can walk you through it. So hopefully they should be able to resolve that for you pretty easily. But yeah, you'll need to call or email them in order to get some help. Hope that helps. Thank you too. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you all next week when we're officially done. So if you don't have any questions, you're welcome to go ahead and go and enjoy your day. Go back to bed or go to work or go to class or whatever it might be. But yeah, have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you all next Wednesday.